Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, the temperatures are going to be warm, no doubt about that. We're at 88 degrees right now, but the dew points, they're a little more comfortable today. We had some drier air kind of filter in aloft, and some of that with the stronger winds kind of filtered down to the surface due to frictional elements in the atmosphere, and brought our dew point down a couple of degrees. So it's not a huge amount. It's not fall, but it still feels pretty good out there. You can tell that the dew points are down just a little bit. East wind coming in at 11. We're sort of on the cusp, the dividing line, as I mentioned earlier, between very dry air to the north of us and the still more humid, damp air down to the south. Temperatures, though, are pretty much about where you'd expect them to be for this time of year. 85 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia at 84, so is Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch. 88 degrees in Sarasota, 85 in Venice, 83 in Inglewood, 84 in Northport, 84 in Punta Gorda, Inglewood, Northport, Punta Gorda, seeing a little bit more cloud cover around as showers have been progressively trying to march east on a general east or northeasterly wind flow today. And there's an old kind of boundary left over down here around Miami that's producing showers and such all morning long. We're not having much ability to move what you see on the other coast over to our coast because the air is too dry. So they tend to just kind of fall apart as they move across the state. Some now, DeSoto County, Charlotte County, are producing some very light rainfall in places, drizzle. They tend to kind of just really fall apart by the time they hit the coastal county lines. Around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, where there's a better moisture source, they tend to hold together a little bit more. You move down into Lee County, and you're much more likely to see some of those showers translate across the peninsula. First of all, they have less distance to travel, and secondly, the moisture supply is a little better down there. High pressure building in our region. Our post-tropical cyclone Hermine continues to fall apart out in the Atlantic. Less and less shower activity around it, but still its circulation, having drawn down dry air, continues to provide benefit for us today as high pressure just to our north draws that dry air right across the Suncoast. And there's kind of a leftover boundary that's triggering off those showers we just showed you. That is in part of the circulation for Hermine, or was part of the circulation. Now it's just a leftover boundary that exists in the atmosphere. It kind of sank south yesterday, and that's what brought us the rain showers we saw around yesterday. Today, lots of sunshine, really. There'll be a few fair weather clouds as well, but for the most part, especially the further north you go, the more sunshine you get. Slightly lower humidity. I think we kind of noticed that this morning. I certainly did anyway, and still do actually. And lower rain chances for today and for tomorrow than would be typical for this time of year. You can see that kind of boundary sinking southward over the last 12 to 24 hours, and it's still producing some showers down to our south, but our rain shower chances diminished markedly by this factor. This tan color that you see here is the drier air in the water vapor imagery, and it really has been pulled down. So now the moist air is kind of struggling to make inroads into that dry air aloft, and it's really only doing it over on the other coast. Over the course of the next several days, the dry air will lose out, the moisture will return, and our rain chances will tend to go up. Taking a look at the rainfall futurecast, you can see some of those showers trying to work their way across the coast, and around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor will be the best chance for some of them actually making it to the coast a little later on today. Our sea breeze is going to be kept very close to the coastline by this general strong easterly wind flow. So one of the trigger mechanisms for the stronger storms that we might normally see at this time of year doesn't really exist today. It'll be back. It'll be back by Friday for sure. We'll look for a northeast wind coming in at 15, translating to about 10 knots with a moderate chop and 2-foot seas. And the forecast calls for minimal chances of rain showers today, and I think tomorrow as well. Then we start creeping them back up there by Friday. We're back to our standard sort of 40–50% chance for this time of year. Daytime highs stay in the low 90s. Scott?